Austerity measures have cut more than $36 million from Concordia in the past 3 years. That's close to 10% of Concordia's budget. The impacts of these cuts are severe. You may have noticed larger class sizes, more students for every teacher, and less course options. Concordia has lost more than 100 staff positions. But let's take a step back here and begin with, what is austerity? Well, put simply, austerity is theft. It's the theft of our collective well-being in order to benefit a wealthy and influential few. It begins with our government drastically limiting their revenue by providing excessive tax breaks to corporations and wealthy individuals. This is followed by a gross manipulation of our debt to GDP ratio in order to instill fear and guilt into the population. Both of these have been used in Quebec as a false justification to completely restructure our economy, placing private wealth over education, healthcare, family, and all public services. The government is cutting, reducing, and destroying the social fabric that we and our families depend on. Their argument is clear. The government must do all it can to get its finances in order. And we agree. But in reality, there are many better options when it comes to balancing the budget. For starters, rather than cutting millions in education and healthcare, the government can reduce the billions in corporate subsidies it hands out. We give more than $6 billion in tax subsidies to corporations every year. That's more than all the corporate tax subsidies in Ontario, Alberta, and British Columbia combined. Besides cuts, the government can also increase revenue in order to balance the budget. For example, increasing the number of tax brackets from the current 4 to a total of 11, we can generate more than $1 billion in revenue every year while reducing the financial contribution of the vast majority of the population. With 11 tax brackets, more than 90% of the population would pay less taxes, while we generate more than $1 billion. Many provinces have more than just 4 tax brackets, and in 1988, Quebec had 16. It's time to reevaluate the way taxes are collected in Quebec. And if we look at tax havens, tax evasion and avoidance, as well as the rampant corruption across the province, we once again see the theft of hundreds of millions of dollars every year. It's clear. Austerity is a political choice, not an economic necessity. What we need is political will. And in order to gain political will, we need political power. With our voices united, we can stand up and defend an economy that works for us, for the people, not for the profit of a wealthy few. This year, bus drivers and nurses, firefighters, teachers, and students, let's end the theft and unite as one movement against austerity. One movement with 10 billion solutions.